What's a common misconception about relationships that you wish people would stop believing? That your partner needs to be everything to you. Nobody can be everything, and expecting them to be is selfish. I have a wonderful, loving, supportive husband who is my best friend. But I still have other friends. I have interests that he doesn't share, and vice versa. That's healthy. That's normal. We aren't together 24/7. We are separate people, joined at the heart, not the hip. That arguing in front of your kids is bad. No, fighting in front of your kids is bad. Having a healthy and respectful argument without screaming or name-calling is beneficial for kids to learn conflict resolution. That all people need a partner to feel complete. Don't go to bed angry. You're allowed to go to bed angry. In fact, sleep on it is a well-respected and highly successful fight avoidance technique. It isn't always a love story 24/7. Relationships go through ebbs and flows. Sometimes, the person you are with is just the person that gets you and loves/respects you for who you are. Also, effective and open communication has to be the most important aspect of a good relationship that so many people fail to realize. That everything was great in the beginning is a good reason to stay in a relationship, trying to chase that back. Every relationship is great in the beginning, otherwise they wouldn't have become relationships. But then if there are masks up in the honeymoon phase, those come off eventually, and in the beginning was not real. That if you love someone, you'll never be attracted to someone else. You probably will, but you don't have to act on it. If you love your partner, you won't. That you have to be together all the time. No. You can have separate interests. You can do things separately. You don't have to be up each other's ass 24/7. You can be in a loving, committed relationship and still maintain some level of independence. One that you need to find the one. There are many suitable partners on this planet of 8 billion people. If we all only had one possible life partner out there, the likelihood that they miraculously live within 50 miles of you seems pretty small. At some point, the species would die out. 2. That your partner will make you happy. You make you happy. Your partner complements your life. They aren't your life. 3. Love is a verb. It's not all going to be butterflies and rainbows. You have to actively participate in your relationship, elevating each other, stepping in when your partner is overwhelmed, have each other's back, etc. There will be times you stare at your spouse and wonder how you ever tolerated them long enough to get to this point. And other times you look at them and feel positively giddy they're with you. That people have to share a bed, or even a bedroom to be a happy couple. That love can fix anything. That if you love each other enough, that alone will sustain the relationship. That love is all you need. Fuck that. You can love someone and be abusive. You can love someone and be in a toxic relationship. You can love someone and be miserable in the relationship. Hell, you can love them and hate them. Love isn't enough. Opposites attract. What people are really looking for are complementary partners. If one person hates cleaning bathrooms and the other hates doing dishes, then together they can switch off these chores for a functional household. Instead, what so many people end up doing is dating someone completely opposite. One person is an early riser/sees the day sort even on weekends, the other believes in relaxation and is a lazy genius. They'll butt heads. The rampant propaganda encouraging the grumpy sunshine/black cat golden retriever dynamic is also not helping. People seem unable to recognize a miserable git or toxic positivity in the name of this pairing. While opposites may initially be exciting because they push you to experience something new in the, hopefully positive, framework of a relationship, eventually the juxtaposition leads to annoyance. From annoyance you build resentment until the relationship is finally broken off. The high of opposite pairing is not for everyone and seldom lasts. Complementary, Person A is quiet but opinionated while person B is more social yet maintains similar opinions as person A. Person A benefits from help with socializing and person B has a calm safe space on their partner. EX opposite, person A level-headed while person B is rash. Person A will come to resent the compulsive wildness of their partner because they're always stuck cleaning up their messes. Person B will grow to see their partner as staid and boring, hating always having to initiate fun. That you can change people. That an argument has a winner. Your partner is not your advisory. Compromise, a better mutual understanding of the issue at hand, these are the goals. That it's 50-50ths. It has to be 100/100 most of the time. Jealousy is a sign of love, nope, that's a sign of insecurities and no trust. The concept of having met or searching the one. That's not a real thing. Don't go to bed angry absolutely ruins relationships. So many arguments with my so seemed incredibly important at midnight, but after 8 hours of sleep, suddenly I couldn't possibly care. Sometimes that's just because I was sleepy, other times I just needed some distance between myself and the argument. Litigating an argument into the early morning hours is almost never worthwhile, now you're mad at each other and tired. If the argument still matters at 8 a.m., pick it back up then. It almost seems childish, but a lot of fights happen because one person is tired, or hungry, or stressed at work, or distracted, or whatever. I really think a lot of emotional maturity comes from recognizing how little things affect your mood and from there, how your mood can affect your relationship with your partner. That communication solves everything. Just keep communicating. That romantic love should be unconditional. It's not, and treating it that way can lead to years of misery with the wrong person who either has no intention or capability of loving you the way you deserve. Soulmate/twin flame/missing part of me. This comes across as so sad when the couple breaks up in no time. It's a lovely notion that somehow people are preordained to be together, but it makes the mundane, nuts and bolts aspects of a relationship seem inconsequential. They're not. If your soulmate can't manage finances and constantly brings stress to the relationship, no bueno. If your twin flame won't take care of his or her share of the chores, That being together a long time equals a happy, successful relationship. My partner of over a quarter century and I are very happy together. My parents were married over 40 years and made themselves, each other and everyone else bloody miserable. My sister and I used to joke that at least by staying together, they kept at least 2 other people from misery. If 2 people love each other, everything will naturally go well. In fact, relationships require effort, communication, and mutual understanding from both sides. That you need to be in one to be truly happy. That you can save a marriage if you just work hard enough. Sometimes, it's not worth saving. That all relationships are going to travel the same path, typically buying a house, getting married, and having kids. Some people want those things desperately, but life has other plans. You can't afford a house. Your partner doesn't see the point of getting married. You can't have or don't want kids. Sometimes it's like trying to fit a triangle-sized relationship into a round hole of expectations. Relationships should be 50-50. I'd heard that a million times, but my old boss told me right before I got married, overall, relationships should be close to 50-50, but that doesn't mean every day will be 50-50. Sometimes you'll do 90, sometimes she will. It's just making sure it all balances out overall. I am a 66-year-old boomer. A few years ago my therapist gently brought up the term codependency in one of our sessions. I had always imagined the stereotype of the syndrome, at least in my own mind, as being lonely, old, unfulfilled moms allowing their grown sons to live at home and abuse and use them, as codependency. Turns out it's a bit more than that. I understand codependency now as being the hope that if one is just good enough, in whatever way it applies, that it will eventually enlighten an unkind, unresponsive, controlling partner to suddenly wake up, realize how wonderful and invaluable that one is, and then and therefore, change. Turns out, it's kind of the very opposite. You don't have to do everything together and only be a unit. It's okay to hang out with your own friends and go on trips with friends without your so. My partner and I do guys/girls trips each year. Confusing infatuation with love. Then when the infatuation phase runs its course, they say they fell out of love. No, you never loved each other to begin with if that's the standard. Some people take compromise too far. No one who loves you would ask you to compromise your emotional health, dignity, or safety. If he makes fun of you, that means he likes you. No, it doesn't. He might like you. He might not know how to express it. But bullying is not an expression of affection. Having a child will solve our issues. That marriage is the end goal. You don't have to get the government involved in your relationship. If it's financially beneficial, do it. If not, there's no reason. You can still have a wedding even. You can't love anyone else if you don't love yourself first. There were times I fucking hated myself, but my love for my family and friends kept me alive. You don't have to be a perfect person to love and be loved. Opposites may attract, but they don't make long-lasting partners. You need common ground on certain key aspects. Kids don't save relationships, they just force you to see someone who doesn't want to be with you for the rest of your life. And you may be able to make more lives miserable. It's not always you and your partner against the world. You also join/marry another family, and believing you have no responsibilities to them is a lie. You don't have to tell your family about all the problems you're facing. This might be controversial, but nothing changes the way your family perceives your partner like telling them what you're fighting for. You might be able to reconcile and be happily ever after, but your parents/siblings may never forgive them. If you're facing severe problems, ask for advice from another couple/couples counseling/ or anyone who can be impartial. You have to stay together for the kids, for God's sake. No. The only thing that may traumatize a kid more than a divorce is living in a household where the couple doesn't love and respect each other. For everyone's good, leave. You have to do everything together, please, don't. Each one needs to have hobbies and friends outside the relationship. If you're married, you can't have single friends. Please, don't. People are worthy of friends despite their relationship status. If you don't trust your partner's friend, you actually don't trust your partner. And I'm so sorry for you. That it has to be hard to be worth it. A happy, healthy relationship isn't hard, it isn't a struggle. Sure, there are blips here and there, but overall it's a relief to both parties. It takes the weight of hard times off you and brings you joy and safety. That fighting/arguing shouldn't happen, or it's a bad sign. In certain situations, yes, it can be a bad sign, but in the average relationship it's healthy and necessary.